As we discuss manicures, we understand that manicures not only provide a polished look, it also provides a polished feeling. As a service provider, you want to keep in mind that you play an important role in the overall look and health of your guest. A manicure is a cosmetic treatment of the hands involving cutting, shaping, and often polishing the nails, cuticle remover, and also skin softening. You may sometimes be adding special treatments to the manicure. It depends on what the guests select and what you all decide during the consultation. As a professional, you always want to remember to stay in your realm of scope of practice. And remember, your scope of practice is what you are allowed to do according to your state regulations. You must be aware of all the safety, sanitation, disinfection, and cleaning procedures as directed by your state regulators. You always want to remember that if anything happens while you are performing a service that is not within the scope of your practice, as a professional, you are held liable for any injury a client may endure while performing an illegal service. As a professional, you should have a thorough understanding of your scope of practice as well as the disinfection procedures and as well as the actual manicure services that you will be providing. Clients may request manicure services, and this should be an add-on to other services, or it can also be a service that the client wants to get by itself. So helping the client finish off that look can be an additional revenue stream for any professional that is good at providing manicure services. Although many clients may be able to do their own manicure, they sometimes prefer a professional to provide the service for them. The manicure should be a relaxing and pampering type service that makes the client feel good about their appearance when the service is complete. As you consider all of the items you will need to complete your services, you will definitely need your manicure table, client arm cushion, and your adjustable lamp. That will be the foundation of your manicure setup. A standard manicuring table usually has a drawer, possibly a shelf, and a light as well for you to be able to see clearly. The lengths will vary, and that's going to depend on the stylist, but it's all mostly about the ergonomics of it all, where you're feeling comfortable and the client is also feeling comfortable as well. Just make sure that you are selecting a table that can be cleaned and disinfected. If your table does not come with a client arm cushion, you can purchase one, or you can create one using the towels by rolling your clean towels and just making sure it's done in a way that the client is comfortable. For your lamp, you're usually using a 40 to 60 watt incandescent or fluorescent bulb. Whichever bulb resembles natural light, or whichever one is closest to the natural light, may be best for working on your manicures. Make sure you have a comfortable chair and all of your supplies set up prior to seating the guest. You want to have your finger bowl for soaking the client's finger in warm water. These bowls may also be used to remove different products from the nails, like gel or acrylic, or it just depends on, what service you're providing. Disinfection containers should also be a big part of your station setup. Remember that they must have a lid, and The disinfectant solution should never come in direct contact with your skin. So you should be wearing gloves anytime you are disinfecting your implements. Remember to scrub all of the implements prior to submerging them into the disinfectant. You're going to clean them with warm water and soap and scrub, and also rinse everything and dry it all before you put it into your disinfectant solution. At all times, you are following the manufacturer's directions. So if anything that you read in your textbook does not, or anything that I say is different from what the manufacturer has told you, then you are going to go with the manufacturer's directions at all times. If you are using the autoclave, which is also a multi-use implement sterilization cabinet, it kind of works like a pressure cooker to provide steam and clean all of your implements. It helps to clean germs and kill microorganisms. You should be leaving it into the autoclave for about 15 minutes. The Centers for Disease Control recommends spore tests be conducted weekly to ensure the autoclave does not become an incubator for pathogens. So you don't want to have a lot of contaminants in your autoclave. So make sure that you are cleaning everything prior to putting it in there if you are using that. If you are not using it, after cleaning all your implements, they should definitely be stored in an airtight container. So you have to follow all of your manufacturer directions as well as all of your state guidelines. You'll also have your different things like your trash containers. Make sure you have a trash container with a lid. And if you do not, you will be using a plastic bag for each guest, tying it up and discarding it after every person. You have different things on your station like cottons and wipes. Those will be used for different types of thing. Preferably, you are not using the same cotton, for the manicure that you would be for, the foils. So make sure that you don't have that stringy cotton that may become a mess while you're servicing your guests. Make sure that you have also the proper ventilation, because while doing this, using disinfectants and different kind of nail polishes and acrylics, you want to make sure that your ventilation is safe for yourself and for your guests, and you don't want to cause any kind of allergic reactions to yourself or to your guests. So the ventilation system is very important. If you are using a contractor, make sure you have a contractor that understands the ventilation that is required for a nail salon, so that you don't build out an entire salon and then find out that the ventilation system will not work for the services that you plan to provide. If you are going to be providing spa manicures, there may be different equipment that you need, such as the, curing lamps, UV or LED curing lamps. You may be using cloth mittens or, nail polish dryers and different things like that. So just make sure that those items have to be sanitized as well. You have your nail polish dryer that's going to help the clients shorten their nail polish dry time, as well as your UV or LED curing lamps. Make sure that you are reading the polish to see how long you leave it in for an LED lamp, or how long you leave it in for a UV lamp, or is the polish compatible with a certain light. You're just checking the manufacturer's directions to make sure that you have everything that you need, and while you're servicing the guests, you are going to provide them with the best service that is lasting the appropriate amount of time between visits. The terry cloth mittens, those can be used with manicures or pedicures, and it helps to soften the skin They can be used to provide warmth and help deep condition skin. And also they can be used with different services like paraffin wax or a mask treatment as well. Sometimes the mitts are heated, so it just depends on what kind of service you are providing. You have the paraffin bath that's used to provide deep moisture penetration to the skin. So after consulting with your guests, you just want to make sure you have everything prepared so that after your consultation, you can, allow the guests to select everything that you have available that meets their needs. Now, when we get to our implements, remember we have our single-use implements, which are disposable, and then we have our multi-use implements that are disinfected. So if it's a single use, that means that I'm just going to only use it on this guest this one time. And after I'm done, I'm going to throw it away. If it is a multi-use implement, that means that after I'm done with it, I'm going to wash it and, sanitize it and then also place it into the disinfectant. Same goes for your trays. If you are using the supply trays in the supply basket, those are used to just hold professional products and help you get from your station to the dispensary. Be mindful of the cleanliness of your supply trays as well, and just include them in your normal sanitation as you would any other implement that you're using to provide guest services. You have your nail tweezers, your nail clippers, your nail nippers, different metal implements that can be disinfected. Your nail nippers, the stainless steel implements used to trim the nails and trim away dead skin around the nails. You have your tweezers, which help you do a variety of different services. It could be nail art, it could be manicuring or cleaning a nail plate, but they are able to be disinfected. You have your nail clippers, which help to shorten the free edge. When using your nail clippers, you should be clipping from the sides to the center, kind of like when we are cutting hair. You want to do that same technique for the nails to prevent splitting or adding too much stress on the nails and breaking them. You also want to be mindful of your products so that you are not causing any kind of micro trauma to the client's nails. There may be different small cuts or abrasions in the client's nails that may cause them to be easily infected. So you want to be mindful while using your sharp implements that you do not cause any type of issue to your client. In order to maintain efficient service, you should have at least 3 or 4 sets. I would say 3 sets at minimum of implements to do nails with. So this gives each set the proper time that it requires to be sanitized. So if I just use my manicure implements on a guest and they need to be sanitized for the next 25 minutes, then I need to have another set of implements to be using while the guest is, while my supplies are cleaning so that I don't have people waiting. So make sure you have multiple sets of your manicure and pedicure implements already set up for the day. So 3 of everything is the recommendation. Don't forget your nail brushes. You want to have multiple brushes as well. The nylon nail brushes that you might be using, to wash your hands, to wash the client's hands, for helping you during the manicure to remove different products and debris from the nails. So these are going to be multi-use. You may be using these doing pedicures. So make sure that you have enough nylon bristles as well. Remember your files. You don't want to be using too abrasive of a file. The nail files and buffers are generally single use. Although there are companies that say that you can reuse their buffers. It just depends on the manufacturer's directions, and you're always going to be following that. Your coarse grit abrasive files, less than 100 grit, are aggressive and quickly reduce any surface thickness. You also have medium grit abrasives. They're smooth and refined surfaces. They are 150 to 180 grit, and they are good for shortened, shaping, and natural nails. And then we have the fine grit abrasives, and those are good, usually 240 and higher grit category, and they help to buff the nails and smooth out the nails as well. So to prevent any type of issue with the nail, as far as cutting the skin or scraping the nails or creating any type of micro trauma, you want to make sure that you are prepping your files, and you prep the files by taking the brand new files and rubbing them against each other to remove the artificial edges that were created when the files were cut. And so you can soften up the edges of the files by rubbing them against each other. And remember, you're going to file the nails prior to soaking so that you do not damage the nail during filing. Soaking the nails kind of makes them weak, so you want to file them while they are still strong before you soften them. Our wooden pushers are used to remove cuticle tissue from the nail plate, and you can use these to clean around the nail, the free edge, and also to help remove polish. If you use a cotton wrap wooden stick, orange wood stick, you can use that to remove any excess polish around the nails as well. Your application brushes are used to apply masks, nail oils, or treatments to the client's nails. Brushes do not need to be cleaned and disinfected between uses when using products not capable of harboring or supporting the growth of pathogenic microbes such as alcohol, nail polish, monomers, and polymers, like cure gels, nail primers, dehydrators, and bleaches, unless the brush touches a contaminated nail immediately before moving to another nail. Now you also may be wearing protective gear such as gloves. Just be mindful because some products will, like acetone may sometimes eat through the gloves depending on the quality of the glove. Your dust mask you may be wearing to just keep yourself from inhaling too many chemicals. You sometimes may not feel sick right away, but sometimes issues develop over time. So you want to be mindful of always protecting yourself. So in the first year, you may not feel sick, but 2 or 3 years into doing the manicures, you may not feel well. And so some things, again, are developed over time. So you're doing your best to protect yourself always. You may be needing to wear protective eyeglasses, especially if you're doing acrylic and you are removing nails or sometimes having to use the drill or whatever the case might be. Remember your paper or your hands down towels or your terry cloth towels. You always want to keep those in hand. The hands down towels are disposable towels that you can use for each guest, so that as you are done with your station, you just wrap everything up and throw it away. Remember that, again, we're doing the lint-free cotton for all of our nail services. The products that you may be using for your nails are soap. You have your cuticle removers, nails, creams, lotions, and oils, color polish, enamel, lacquer, or varnish. The soap is best use antibacterial soap, making sure that the guests are washing their hands for at least 30 seconds. Your cuticle removers will loosen and soften and dissolve dead tissue on the nail plate so that you can easily remove it. You have creams and lotions to soften the skins. You may also be using the oil to soften the skin. lacquer, enamel, another name for nail polish. Remember, we have our base coat and our top coat. We have a host of different nail polishes. Remember that we roll the nail bottle. We do not shake it. We do not want to create any air bubbles into the polish, and then that will ruin the finished nail look. So we have our different polishes as well as a remover. Remember, if you're using a gel polish, you just being mindful, is it compatible with UV or LED, or what are the timing requirements for the polish that you have. Your acetone is a colorless flammable liquid that is a potent solvent and efficiently removes oils and prepares nails for polish. It also dries skin, so make sure that you avoid getting acetone directly on the skin as much as possible. Our nail hardeners. Now, acetone can also be used to dissolve, different nail treatments that you may have provided to the client. They make nail surfaces. It could have been acrylic polish or could have been gel. So sometimes acetone is used as a remover as well. Remember, all of the acetone and nail polishes are flammable. You also have nail hardeners, improve the surface hardness or durability of weak, thin nails. So there are several different types of hardeners. You have protein, dimethylurea hardeners, and reinforcing fibers such as nylon can also be applied to strengthen and harden the nails. You have nail conditioners that contain ingredients to reduce the dryness and the brittleness of nails. Our hand creams and lotions can soften and smooth nails. That sometimes can be used with the spa manicure and the mittens. Remember your consultation. Providing a client consultation, you are thinking about, what type of lifestyle is the client living? What type of nail service are you providing? You're thinking, about the client's health. Are they able to get nails? Are they have any issues that would prevent them from getting a nail service? Is there anything you need to be aware of? Do you have any nail trauma? You're going to be examining the client's nails. You can possibly look at photos to see what the client would like, to make sure that you all are both on the same page, to see if what it is that they want to provide or what it is that they want to receive, you are able to provide. You can make nail service suggestions based on the client's lifestyle and just different things that if you know something may not fit, you could just remind the client of it and just confirm that they would indeed like to receive that service. You want to just keep the expectations realistic as possible. And also, sharing with the client what the prices are along the way. Don't get up to, a couple $100 and you haven't, as you're going along, you're explaining to the client what the difference in the prices are. You're going to be doing the nail shapes based on what the client likes. We have, do they want to have a pointed nail, an oval nail, a round nail, squoval nail, square nail? How long are they going to be able to come in and get the nails maintained? What kind of work do they do? Do they need a strong nail? Are they typing? Is a, weaker tip or thinner tip better for the kind of work that they're doing? That's just all questions that you're going to talk about during your consultation. So the basic manicure is pretty much where everybody starts. It depends on the service. But it's usually going to start, if it's going to be a hand service, with some form of the basic manicure. Think about your time. You want to get this down to about 30 minutes, not longer than 45 minutes, so that you can get people in and out. Keep all your supplies organized. Have every single thing set up and prepared before the client arrives. Before you start any service, always wash your hands. have your color chart set up so the client can select the color that they want to wear. Don't forget to practice your hand and arm massage procedures. Remember, the massage is a manipulation of the soft tissues of the body. It provides a relaxing and therapeutic treatment to the client. It helps to promote blood circulation and lymph circulation. It's helping to relax the client, possibly provide pain relief, and just other different benefits that occur when clients receive massage. So you want to keep in mind your effleurage, your petrissage, your tapotement, your vibration, and friction are all critical when providing manicure and pedicure services. You, as a professional, will determine which massage techniques will work best for your guest. You should add to your menu the different spa services that you plan to provide so that guests can review them when they arrive. Spa manicures are usually designed for longer treatments, relaxations, aromatherapy, paraffin, softening. It just depends on what the guest is in the mood for. You can have, aromatherapy scents and different scrubs and different things that rejuvenate the client and help them to reach a higher level of relaxation. Paraffin wax may also be used. It depends on which kind of paraffin you want to use. That is also going to be chosen during the client. You just want to make sure that you have the plastic bags, the mittens, hot towels, or whatever it is that you're needing to have during your spa treatment already set up and available. If you are serving any guests with disabilities, you want to make sure that you are able to provide different accommodations. You know that sometimes we may be servicing guests in a wheelchair and they may want to stay in their wheelchair. So you consider that and be open to whatever accommodations that you can provide as a stylist. They may need to um, sit in a chair and lean over the bowl, facing forward. So if that's better for them, then you be open to providing the accommodations that may be required to assist. There are a host of issues that clients may have: cancer, diabetes, different mobility issue, neuropathy issues, sensory disorders, visual impairments. They may be taking medication. You just, as a professional, be open to making accommodations for whatever it is that they may require. We also have different ways of upgrading the manicure as well. Outside of spa manicures, you can add nail art. They have different mood polishes and different things like that clients like. You can be doing color blocking or French manicures, color fading, or it just depends on the client and what their, desires are. If you are not, into creating art, you can also use different type of stencils and stamps and things like that can also help you. Remember, when you start your guest service, you want to make sure that everything is already set up. After you greet the client, you're going to make sure that you have washed your hands and did the proper cleaning sanitation for your hands as well. For the basic manicure, you're going to be removing the polish and inspecting the client's nails. You're going to file and shape the nails based on the client consultation. Remember, when you are filing the client's natural nails, you do not go back and forth. When filing the natural nails, you go from one side to the center of the free edge and then from the other side to the center of the free edge. So keep that in mind. So after you are done filing the nails, you will allow the client to soak the nails. You're going to be softening the epinecium and the cuticle. You will be cleaning the surface of the nails as well with your nylon nail brushes. After you let the hands soak, you can dry the hands and gently push back the client eponychium. And then apply your cuticle remover. Just spread it evenly on the nail plate. It does not go on the skin. You can use a wooden cotton wrap orange wood stick or metal pusher to gently push and lift cuticle tissue. And use your nippers to remove any loosely hanging dead skin from the base of the nails. You're going to be cleaning under the free edge. You can use a cotton wrapped orange wood stick for that as well. Be gentle. Please do not break the hyponychium located near the free edge by pushing too hard with any object. Remove any debris from the nail and remove the cuticle remover as well. So you can brush the hands again with your nylon bristle brush and get rid of any traces of debris or cuticle remover. You can gently buff the nails. If the client is not receiving any polish, you can buff the nails to a natural shine, or you can prep the nail for the polish surface. Apply your massage oil to the nails. Starting with the little finger, you can massage the oil into the nail using an effleurage massage technique. Make sure to smooth all the free edges and remove any oil or lotion or creams from the nail prior to polishing the nails. You're going to start with the thin layer of the base coat. Start on your client's dominant hand. Place the nails in a cool nail dryer or near a fan when you are done applying the first coat. Apply your first coat of polish. Make sure that you remove the brush and wipe the side of the brush on the bottle to prevent dripping. Start in the center of the nail and work each side to cover the entire nail plate. The first coat may not be perfect. You just want to make sure that it is laid correctly, and any issues will be cleaned up with the second coat. You're going to make sure that you're capping the free edge of the nail. So you're going to be brushing back and forth at the very tip of the nail at the free edge just to apply color, just to seal it, or sometimes people call it cap the nail. You're going to repeat those steps with a second coat, and then also you will be repeating the exact same steps with your top coat. If you like, you can either put the client in a drying machine, or you can apply a nail drying product to the nails. When you complete this service, you can advise your clients and also pre-book them for their next service, or provide them with any kind of products that you would like to see them use during the time that they are not with you. After escorting your guests out, sanitize your work area as well as your implements so that you are having a clean rotation of supplies, and prepare for your next guest.